Welcome back to the Pesky Report, brought to you by Beyond the Monster. It's Matt, Hotel Jordan, and Bayleigh with us as well. It's the weekday show coming at you. We're actually a little bit outnumbered today on the East Coast. I got myself representing on the East Coast time zone, and we got two people in the West Coast outnumbering me on the pod right now, Jordan and Bayleigh. Jordan, how's the weather in San Francisco right now?
It's chilly. It was very cold this morning when I went out for my walk and then when I went to get lunch, but it's sunny, which is nice.
It's lovely here.
That's very nice to hear. How's Rafi doing?
I'll let you know in about 3 hours.
Ugh, my heart.
2 hits last night and two runs, but no, just one RBI, but 2 hits.
They didn't
last
win
night.
though. They
did
didn't
not win.
Yeah. Neither did the Red Sox, and we'll get into that in a minute. But thankfully, the Red Sox did come off 2 out of 3 wins against the Seattle Mariners. That's 4 straight series victories. You love to see it. Got a lot to talk about, I think, in this episode. I know Jordan's on a tight time window today, but before we get into too much else, go ahead and give us a follow on social media if you don't mind, at the Pesky Report. We'd appreciate following along with you on there. And then if you want to leave us a little rating or review on Spotify or Apple Podcasts or wherever you're listening to this, we certainly would appreciate that as well. And if you're on YouTube, because we've been putting out the YouTube content now with the videos, really would appreciate the like, subscribing to the channel, sharing it if you're so inclined. Every little bit counts as we're trying to build up our space here in the algorithm. So without any further ado, Bayleigh, I think that we should ask you, since you didn't have a chance to, you did have a chance, sorry, on the last episode we recorded to kind of talk through your thoughts on the Devers situation. I want to know what now that you've had time to kind of not be driving and not be thinking about it while you're driving, have you recovered from the Devers trade? Have you moved on from it? Has this series victory helped kind of smooth things over in your head? Like, where are you at right now?
It's gonna always suck, like no matter what. Like it always sucked having to trade Mookie. This is gonna suck even worse because he was under contract for a decade more here. It wasn't like this was somebody expiring and we kind of could see the writing on the wall. This was our guy. This is the guy we committed to, apparently. And, the more and more things that have come out it's kind of crazy. It seems like everybody's kind of been saying it's like a bad divorce, and it kind of really feels that way. Like, I think the Red Sox really messed up in the beginning, potentially lying to him and then like saying, oh, well, we're going to need you to play first, but we can't really commit to you there. So that was super messy. But then I'm also like, he kind of handled it like a child as well. So it's still very raw, but I mean, it is what it is. You can still love the guy. I'm still wearing my 11 here. Jordan's got his 16 to wear tonight, at the Giants game. So it's like you can still love the player, and it sucks that he's not playing for your team anymore, but it is what it is. This is the team that we have. It's great that they were able to take this series without him. Like, that was amazing. So now it's like, okay, we're moving on. We're actually going to be seeing him next. We're going there. So take that series. Just start taking series. Sweeps are lovely, but just start taking series and be above 500 by the deadline. And then maybe something really good could come of the money you have. Time will tell.
Yeah, that's a good point. Time will tell, and it's going to be a tale of 2 stories, I guess. Like, how does this season play out, and then how do the next 2 to 3 to 4 years play out as well? Yeah. Because even if he doesn't redeem himself completely in this one tiny stretch of time in this season, we'll give him undoubtedly multiple seasons to prove himself, and
have to.
We don't really have a choice. And that's how we'll really see how this plays out. So it'll be interesting. Jordan, obviously you picked up a new piece of merchandise. Do you want to show it off for anyone who's watching the video?
Yeah, I just threw it on my bed. Give me 1 sec. I'll grab it.
Okay.
Yeah, for those watching on YouTube, we bought the Devers home jersey. Actually, I bought this. I also bought the shirt I'm wearing. Obviously, I'm not a Giants fan, but I mean I've always had a soft spot for the Giants. Dating back to when they had Lincecum, that was my favorite pitcher
Oh,
growing up.
Love
My
Timmy.
my Twitter @is Jordan Landry 55, and my number growing up was 55 because of Tim Lincecum. So I'm not bandwagoning. I mean, I am the Devers aspect of it, but I'm not a bandwagoner. And then this hat is also a Giants hat. It was $290 for the hat, the shirt, and the jersey. Just buying the hat and the City Connect jersey a couple weeks ago at Fenway, 310. So
That's
I
crazy.
yeah, I mean the home uni is always going to be cheaper than the City Connect, but like,
Yeah.
still nuts. I bought 3 things for 290, whereas at Fenway I bought 2 things for 310.
Yeah. You
but
can
yeah,
at least get your money. They're doing that money return now. You can kind of within 90 days or something.
on the MLB store, not at team stores. They literally put out a statement. They're like, we are not taking refunds on this. You're not
That
getting any
is
exchanges.
horrendous.
It's fine. I mean, I probably wouldn't have brought it back anyway.
It's
but
still a great shirt, but
Yeah.
come on now.
It's gonna hurt me to put on every single time. I brought it with me so I can wear it this weekend too when I go to the games for the Sox against the Giants. So.
I'm wearing mine right now, and I'll probably wear it when I go into Anaheim. So come at me, Angels fans.
They will.
Yeah, they probably will. But you know what?
They'll fight you.
You got a ring. You got a ring. I got a ring out of them. I feel like most Angels fans don't remember the year 2002. So
While you're there, convince the Angels to try to sell off Mike Trout so he can then also be a star player traded away from a franchise that doesn't know how to treat its star players correctly.
Yeah, come to Boston.
Their hero from their last World Series has won a ring with the Red Sox more recently, in John Lackey. So
that is so true.
They can eat that.
Their more recent hero got traded away and won a ring with the Dodgers. So I mean, there's kind of a trend here.
So come to Boston, Michael Trout, and let's see what we can do.
Hey,
I mean, he
money
did finally
up.
hit. Did
Money
he
is
just finally hit his first Fenway home run like 2 weeks ago? So I mean, he's riding hot.
I feel like if the money gets freed up and then we get Mike Trout, I feel like I will just be okay with everything. I don't even care if Mike Trout is getting older. It's still friggin' Mike Trout. Give me a healthy Mike Trout in that lineup.
Let him DH.
That
Yeah.
roster flexibility.
Ooh,
So
give me that,
let's talk
man.
about that for a second, because there was definitely some interesting reporting that came out after the fact. Like, Red Sox. Here's what we know, I guess. Like, we can talk about this.
Mm-hmm.
Then we can talk about the series. We don't have to spend a ton of time on the Devers stuff. I know people have covered this ad adamantium, and it's everywhere. But when it comes to like what we know, we know that the Giants were the ones that initiated the conversation about Devers. They were talking. It was Posey was talking to Breslow about something else, and he asked his GMs like, should I ask him about Devers? And they were all like, yeah, do it. So the Devers piece did not get brought to the Giants. Now, what I don't know and what we don't know is after the Giants presented that offer, did the Red Sox then say, well, let's see what else we have and then start shopping him around? Because I think that's what happened. I think it's the Giants started this. They were the first people that were willing to step in and be involved. And then after that, the Red Sox started shopping him. But we know that they did have at least some discussions with other teams, one of those teams being the Braves. Was reported that one of the discussions involved Marcell Ozuna, Sean Murphy, and a couple of pitching prospects. Originally was reported from a source that we weren't quite sure how valid it was. I had someone from the Braves side that covers them that reached out and said, hey, I don't know how valid the source was. And then by the time I responded to that message, they came back and said, actually, never mind, because I had someone else reach out to me that I do trust that told me the same thing. So 2 different sources confirming that question. So those are the things we know. And then we also know the Giants ownership came back and said that they would not have been able to get the deal done if they did not take on all of Devers' contract. And they also said that the Red Sox originally had asked for Bryce Eldridge in the trade, but they told them that he was completely off limits and shut that down right away.
See, a part of me is like, how badly did they want Devers? So if you say, okay, we're not going to give you Bryce Eldridge, you're like, oh, okay, then you're not getting Devers. And then I feel like you hope that you play the game right, that they want Devers so bad. That's why I would have maybe held on to him a little bit longer. If the Giants really, really started to need it, then it's like, hey, he's here, but need Eldridge. Like, so I don't know. Like, this happening on June 15th, I think was the strangest thing of everything. It's like, why are we not holding on? Why? You have all of the power right now. You should have come out that even them taking 250, the whole 250, and you get Eldridge. Like, and then it doesn't look as bad. But I understand it's difficult to get, like, the number 16 prospect in baseball and you taking every bit of the money. I understand that's very difficult to do.
Yeah, it's a weird. The timing of it will still be weird to me, regardless of what ended up coming back.
Mhm.
I thought it was interesting that reading reports that they actually did talk about Carson Wissenhunt and Hayden Birdsong and settled on Kyle Harrison. I don't know if that's just simply rapport with Bayleigh, just their outlook on the player, their models. I know that league wide, I've seen a lot of content creators, which I know, hit or miss on some people when they post stuff like on TikTok and whatnot. But a lot of people are really high on Kyle Harrison. I like Kyle Harrison. I think people kind of poo-pooed the return just because Devers was the one getting traded.
Yeah.
And Jordan Hicks has a 6 ERA this year, but the under the hood metrics are pretty good. They were pretty good last year too with the Giants as a starter. He's obviously been a good reliever at the major league level. I think I want to kind of step away from the return for a second and talk about kind of how the chain of reporting has gone down since Devers got traded. I don't know why people act so surprised by how stuff has come out. Like, this happens every time a star leaves any organization. The team gets out ahead of it. They drop their side of the story first, get as much fan, approval as they possibly can, and then the player side comes out. And why are we so quick to just believe everything that comes out of the team side of things and not the player? Like the stuff with like Devers being like, I just want you to commit to me long term as a first baseman. And I don't know if it was like beyond 2025 or just for the season, and he's just not going to be a DH other than like sparsely play the move to DH, just get off his feet or whatever. Like, because that seemed like a very reasonable request, but it also seems like something that's a very reasonable request. Why would the Red Sox be like, no, we're going to play Abraham Toro and Romy Gonzalez instead? I know how good they've been, but still. But on this other side of the coin, other than the leadership element of Devers's, personality, what critiques have there been about Devers as a human being since he came up in 2017? And now suddenly he's like the worst teammate on the planet. Everyone hates him, and people just ate that up. Players seemed unfazed in the clubhouse. Yeah, they just won 5 in a row. Devers wasn't exactly carrying the load offensively during that stretch because they were winning it on the heels of pitching. Athletes are stupid. Like, they think, oh, we've won 5 straight. Devers wasn't really contributing that much to it, which is bullshit. He homered in their most recent win that they scored 2 runs in at the time. But they see it and they're like, oh, maybe we can win without him because we have been sort of doing that with him present. And there's a poison in the clubhouse because there's that elephant in the room the whole time. But like, I'm just not buying that Devers was hated. I'm buying that maybe this group is just like, it happened. We're not going to sulk about it in mid-June. Like, we've been playing well. Let's keep playing well, which is why this series was huge, because you go 1-2 in this series or 0-3 in this series, and it's the noise comes back. You win 2 out of 3, and you go now into Devers' house, and we'll see what happens. But this series was huge.
Yeah, and I think they kind of handled it like, at least very maturely, like everybody that they asked. Whereas like if you go back to, in 2022 when they shipped off Vasquez and you've got Bogart sulking and saying, we didn't get anything back. I was like, I don't want to hear that. I kind of want to hear we had Rafael Devers, but like also there's 25 other guys here and let's go.
That's a great leader, by the way, according to Red Sox Twitter, the guy who bitched about Christian Vasquez getting traded.
Yeah, and then said he wouldn't come off his own position. Yeah, I know for a great player, but okay, whatever.
I do think that it's very obvious that Jarren Duran was one of the players that like did hold a grudge against Rafael Devers for what he was doing, and I think that came across pretty obviously in just the way he was interviewed. I know that the quotes don't look as bad on paper, but I don't know if you listen to the actual audio of him talking
No, I didn't. Yeah.
about it. But they asked him like, "Oh, what was your reaction?" He's like, "Oh, I was just surprised because it's Rafi Devers." And then he's like, "But I didn't really have time to think about it because I took a nap on the plane." And
So
then he gets off, and they're like, "Well, yeah, but how do you think that, are you guys going to be okay after this with that change?" And he's like, "What do you mean?" And they're like, "Well, you just traded one of your best players," and he's like, "There's 26 players on the roster, so we're going to be fine." And he like literally said the same thing that you basically said, but to me, his reaction was like, "What do you mean? Are we going to be okay?" Like he did not seem phased at all by them being like pushing that note of like, "Hey, this is your best player they traded." He was like, "No, like I don't even know what you're talking about."
Who
So
has the
it
heart
doesn't
to tell
surprise me.
Jarren that he's next?
It doesn't
Oh yeah,
surprise
he's
me
gone.
though. Because he was the guy that was getting after Kenley when Kenley wasn't like coming out on the field, when he was the end of last year. So it doesn't surprise me that Jarren was the one that was upset that his teammates aren't just giving everything that they could possibly be doing for the team. And that's the one critique that I'll have of Devers in this situation, because I completely agree with your point, Bayleigh, that it was messaging, but also the reaction. I think that like the thing that's the most frustrating, and this also ties into what you said, Jordan, the Red Sox saying, "We don't want you to play first base anymore. Throw away your glove." And then coming back and saying, "Hey, the situation's changed. Can you play first base for us?" And then him saying, "I'll play first base, but only if you commit me to me there." That just seems very, it does come back to the communication, but it does seem still very childish to me, because if you did want the team to win, you would understand that like there may be a situation where a better first baseman comes around, or there
Yep.
may be a situation where you're not good at first base, or there may be a situation where like they need you to go back to third base. And like for them to like for him to say unreasonably, I think, "I want you to commit to me at first base at a position that I've never played," that felt to me like I know it sounds like a reasonable ask, but I don't really know that it is. And it felt like he definitely wasn't trying to make the team win. And then as soon as he gets over um to San Francisco in that press conference, he said, I'll do anything that they want me to do," which then again just goes back to me knowing, in my heart, that he could have done that with us and he chose
Mm-hmm.
not to. So that's why I think that the reaction was childish and that what he was asking for was not exactly realistic. But I think that's a little bit of a hot take.
I got my own tinfoil hat conspiracy of kind of how everything went down, but I don't know if I wanna share it at this point, just because it's like, again, no amount. I tweeted this yesterday. No amount of like public complaining is going to undo the trade. Like it's not like Breslow's going to
So
be
true.
like, "Can we have takebacks here? Like can I just get him back and you can have all your guys back?" It's moot at this point. I think ultimately, like people want to assess blame pie and be like, "Oh, it's 80% Devers and 20% team. It's 80% Breslow, 10% FSG, 10% Devers, or whatever." It's and stuff like this, especially how ugly it got. It is always like you're towing the line of 50-50 and like even 60-40. Like that's a lot of blame on both parties there.
Mm-hmm.
So at the end of the day, like I'll always be in except for in rare cases, I'll always be player over organization, because the business side of things is very, very dirty. And I don't think that there needs to be a correlation between your salary and your leadership ability. I say this about every single sport. He got paid. He didn't get paid because he was a great leader. He got paid to hit fucking 30 bombs and driving 100 runs. And he was doing that and well on his way to doing it again. You can't just create a leader. The stuff that David Ortiz said, I thought was not what David Ortiz said being crazy, but like Pedro disagrees with him, Manny disagrees with him. Manny disagreeing with him is not shocking. Manny's Manny. But like Pedro came out and was like, I thought David Ortiz shouldn't have gotten in front of cameras and he should have dealt with that personally. And like the stuff drawn with like him being with Bonds yesterday, I'm like, who cares, man? Bonds was physically there. Like maybe Rafi's just a shit texter. I know people are shit. I'm a shit texter. Like, you want to talk to me? Come see me. You want to give me advice? Come talk to me. Don't text me. I may never get back. Like, it's Rafi Devers. He's a pro athlete. Like, he probably gets hundreds of texts a day that he doesn't read. And maybe David Ortiz should be a pinned contact, but I don't know. I got pinned contacts I don't answer either. Like I mean, it's just, I don't know. I think a lot of people just want the explanation to be simple. It's always way more nuanced than it is. And at this point, like I'm now in the camp where I hope Rafi's happy in San Francisco. I hope he goes and hits. He's great for them. I hope the Giants win a ton of games and the fans love him in San Francisco. And I hope the Red Sox win a ton of games and they don't really miss him that much. I really hope that's the case. And as far as the money goes, I hope people don't think it has to be a superstar player that they go and get. Like you can they're reallocating $30 million a year in the lineup. If you go and sign Eugenio Suarez and Willie Castro this offseason, there's like $35 million in your lineup right there. Like it doesn't have to be one guy. You don't have to go and pay Pete Alonso 35 plus mil a year, as good as he'd probably be at Fenway.
I love it though.
I don't want to. I would much rather just never bring him in than be 1 year too late on bringing in Pete Alonso.
Mm-hmm.
But it doesn't. It depends on how it looks. It doesn't have to be a superstar. People like they got to get Kyle Tucker. No, that would actually create more problems.
Yeah, it's like you say that, and I understand that, and I'm sure Matt understands that. But I think the average fan, if they don't see a superstar, they're gonna be upset, which I mean is valid.
No, it's fair. And I think part of creating a good product is having recognizable names and star caliber players.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that sometimes gets lost in the messaging from front office and ownership to the fan base. But a good product is a good product. And if Roman Anthony, Marcelo Meyer, and Christian Campbell are good players, or even 2/3 of them are good players, you're replacing Rafi Devers with them and then just a player on the roster. And I keep using Eugenio Suarez just positionally. It makes sense.
Yeah.
But if you sign Suarez and Marcelo pops next year and is a stud, or Roman pops next year and is a stud, you've replaced Rafi Devers and you got another good player that's making less than Rafi would have been. And obviously a guy on pre-arb is making way less than Rafi was.
Yeah. Now, do you think that any of this is going to lead to a Bregman extension? Because I don't think this whole thing of what they did with Devers necessarily phased Bregman. Like, I don't think he cares. I don't think that necessarily plays a factor into it. But do you think it's like some of this money can go into keeping him more long term?
I don't know, because Bregman's already going to make $40 million the next 2 years anyway if he sticks around. I still think like people are like he's going to opt out. He's still making $40 million a year for the next 2 years. That is a big thing to say no to. I think it creates a little more urgency maybe on the Red Sox side of things, but I don't think Bregman's more incentivized to sign. If anything, I would be less incentivized to sign an extension. Mm-hmm. Let me see what you're doing next offseason. I'd probably still opt in if I were him. And then we'll talk extension when you guys prove that you're serious and you're actually reallocating that money.
Mm-hmm.
Fun fact, looks like Nick Birdie's getting called up.
Bye-bye, Zach Kelly.
Is that what they're optioning Kelly back?
Could be. There's no corresponding move yet, but Birdie was on a rehab assignment in Worcester, and he's not on the roster anymore. So more than likely will be joining the team for their game in San Francisco on Friday. So, Jordan, if you go hang out at the airport, you might run into Nick Birdie.
Staying as far away from the airport as possible. I was there way too long yesterday.
I do wonder, I know you mentioned, Jordan, that you could fill the holes on the roster with like, couple of players. I like, wow, I cannot speak. I like Suarez and I like Castro, like you said, but like, I just wonder, like, positionally, if we need to fix the logjam first before I even consider spending money on like a couple of players. Like, where would we fit a couple of players?
No, definitely.
Here.
Definitely. I mean, Story plays a huge part in that equation as well. Like, are you going to keep him? He's not going to opt out. Like, that's just not going to happen. Are you going to keep him beyond 2025? I wouldn't, regardless of how the season ends. I'm all for keeping him if he's going to keep producing for the rest of the season. But if he's not there, that makes it a lot easier because you could just move Marcelo to short. Although he looks fucking great at third, but you got Bregman, so that's not going to happen.
He looks really good at third.
But if you want to use the way Breslow talked about it, you rotate guys through the DH spot. You sign Suarez. There's your primary third or primary DH because he can't field. He's not a good defender, but he can play third sparsely. You could stick him at first every once in a while. I mean, Costa's coming back. I still would put a lot more money on him not being a Red Sox next year than I would him being on the Red Sox. But if he's back, that's another element to the equation. Willie Castro's a Swiss Army knife. I would sign him anyway. He's really good and plays a million positions. So that's like that's like Marwin Gonzalez if Marwin Gonzalez was good at baseball.
Oh my.
But yeah, I was just using Suarez because he's going to make probably 20 mil or so. So I was just trying to combine salaries to make up for Devers' coming off the books, and Jordan Hicks is making like 16 mil a year. So there's that.
Kind of crazy.
But it's
32 counting the rest of this year and then the next two.
Yeah, but the luxury tax hit is like 13. So
yeah,
it could be
I really like the Jordan Hicks ad. Like, I really do. I know his numbers suck, but I think he's gonna be really good.
It's a big arm, and if you keep him like in the pen, like so the last year they were kind of yo-yoing him, trying to do like experimenting with making him like a starter, right?
I think he was primarily a starter last year, but I'll double check
and
that.
now
last year he made 29 appearances, 20 starts. He had a 4.10 ERA. Ks were way down, so I'd probably just stick him in the pen. But I don't want to give up on him in the rotation, possibly beyond this year, but not this year.
He actually started off on fire last year because I had him in fantasy, and it was like he had like his first 8 starts. It was like a 2 ERA or something like that, and then he just got absolutely shelled like multiple starts in a row, and then they sent him to the bullpen eventually.
Hicksy, I DM'd you. Come on the show.
Yeah, come talk to us. I mean, I remember them like being in love with him when he was in St. Louis, right? Weren't they kind of obsessed? And
they
then
thought they had a deal with him last winter.
Yeah.
And he chose the Giants.
He did choose the Giants. Yeah.
Now,
everyone,
apparently.
And now they got him.
Hey.
Yeah. What can we do?
Has anyone found out if that Bayo prospect is related to Brian Bayo? Like, I have no idea who this guy is. He's not, or we don't know.
We don't know.
Bayo would have
Sox prospects.
I feel like we would have found something out by now, right?
And like, oh my God, this guy's his brother. It's like,
no, Sox prospects did not make a big deal out of his name. They did say that he is apparently the number 5 best pitcher in the ACL league. So as far as like what he's been doing down there, now one reason they said is partially because he's like 20 years old, facing a bunch of like 18-year-olds and 17-year-olds and 16-year-olds. So like that could be part of it, but also like the other part of it is he's just like looking nasty down there. So the Sox prospects guys are expecting that they would see Bayo in Salem by the end of the year. And they said that like he probably profiles a lot like the Yoinker Fajardo trade that we did when we got him for Cam Boozer. Like that type of arm, which by the way, the big Yoinker Fajardo looks really good as well so far this season. So he's actually catching a lot of highlights, catching a lot of headlines, and that was someone that the Pesky Report predicted would be coming over in a trade because he does have the coolest name in the White Sox system. I can't get over that.
Fantastic.
That moment was absolutely awesome. What'd you like about this series, Jordan? Because I know you got to go soon, so let's get your takes out of here. Did you like the fact that we got outscored in this series, but yet still managed to win 2 out of 3 games?
That's always fun. I always love the aggregate score. It almost sounds like soccer. It's like, yeah, they've lost the series, but they won the series because they won 2 games. But No, I mean, the big thing for me, like Lucas Giolito, 2 consecutive good starts. That's the first time that's happened. I'm terrified for his start this weekend. But 2 good
Rafi
starts in a row.
Devers is taking him to the moon so
Yeah.
hard.
Yeah. But raised his arm slot against the Rays. The velo's ticked up on the fastball. I don't know how much of that is just the arm slot, how much of that is the weather is better. But he's looked really good. It's been really promising. Him loading the bases on 3 singles against the bottom of the order, then striking out the side with the top of the order was hysterical. I audibly laughed and then passed out because it was 11 p.m. When that happened. My big takeaway from the series, though, I mean, poetically, first at bat for Roman Anthony after Devers gets traded is his first major league home run. And in the same ballpark, Devers hit his first one. So get ready for 2033. We will be trading Roman Anthony to the San Francisco Giants.
Yeah.
But no, that was, I mean, for me, those were the big takeaways in a positive light. And the pitching still kind of held their own sans Bueller.
Literally everyone except for Bueller.
And Giolito was awesome.
Yeah, Giolito looked so good. Like 10 Ks. Like, what the heck? I was like, this looks like prime White Sox Giolito. And I was like, oh man, if we get like a third start about that, like his next start, if it's good, am I gonna buy in? Am I buying into him? Not like, oh my god, he's back, he's like an ace, he's gonna throw no hitter Giolito, but like to the point that it's like, if he's good for the rest of the year, do you keep him on as like a 4?
Well, his last 7 starts, he's a 3.75 ERA, and that's including his shitter against the Angels and the Braves. It's just taking out the one against the Rangers. And in 4 of those 7 starts, he's gone at least 6 innings. He's pitched into the 7th twice, which I mean is gigantic. I mean, again, we're not asking Giolito to be all-star Giolito. We're asking him to be Nick Pivetta. And lately he's been Nick Pivetta. And I say that endearingly, like he's not been horrible other than those 2 starts out of the last 7.
Yeah, and getting 2 back-to-back ones after it seemed to be like good shit, good shit, good shit. And it's like, oh, we got good back to, and great last time. Like that was a great start last time out.
Yeah, last 2 times out, 12 innings, 0 earned runs, 4 walks, 14 Ks, only 6 hits allowed in those last 2 starts. And the Rays were red hot, so that's a legitimate outing. I know he only had 4 Ks in that one. The Mariners I will never buy the Mariners as a good offense, but 10 Ks in 6 innings is still 10 Ks in 6 innings. You got to do it.
And you're doing what you're supposed to do. Like you're supposed to pitch well against teams that offenses aren't as good as they should be, you know? Right. So he did his job.
I like to shout out the bullpen. They haven't given up a run since Saturday. So that's
and see, like when you get good
incredible
starts and length from your starters, it can have you have a fresh, really lethal pen. Like, please go 6 and 7 on the regular, and this pen can be really good. And then Whitlock just like looks like 2021 Whitlock now. He is looking nasty.
I forgot to mention this on the stream that we did, the 2 hour plus Devers reaction video. He was tipping his pitches. I don't know if you guys saw this thread.
Yeah, I remember I was seeing like his arm like was different for each one.
For slider, his arm when he broke was up, and for sinker it was down. Yeah.
Yeah.
Apparently he's always done that though.
Oh, interesting.
Well, apparently they're just catching on to it now.
Yeah, they're catching it now. Yeah.
In 2021, he threw 99 miles an hour. So,
well, there's that too. But I think I feel like he could, a couple years removed from Tommy John, probably work his velocity back up a little higher. I mean, he was throwing he could probably touch 98 right now, I bet.
Yeah, I think he hit 98.
He's hit it a couple times.
Yeah. Not consistently, but like he can at least get it up there.
He's got it in the back pocket if he needs it. Like, I think that's a big thing too. Like, Chapman's doing it too. He's throwing a lot of 97, 98, and then it's like, oh, I got 2 strikes. It's fastball time. Here's 103. Like, just have it. Like, you don't have to show it every pitch.
I wish that he wasn't
garbage.
Yes, because my God, this is like a renaissance for him. I mean, granted, when we saw him, we were seeing like tons of walks, Devers hitting home runs in Yankee Stadium. So it's like not like we watched him consistently enough to be like, was he this good when he was a Yankee? Because my God, he's it's incredible how good he is right now.
Career
The
best
answer is
walks
no.
per nine.
Insane.
He's better now than he ever was. And I think, didn't he say like something crazy in an interview? I don't know if I brought this up
Wouldn't
another
shock
time
me.
or not. Um, yeah, that's it. He said something crazy in an interview one time. I think he
It's the
actually said
weirdest thing he's
something
ever
like,
done.
when he came to the Red Sox, they're the first team that ever told him, like, we want you to throw this pitch here. He said in the past, like, everyone's always just told him, like, just throw your fastball, try to blow it by people. And the Red Sox are the first people to be like, no, we want you to try and aim with it.
Yeah.
He's like, okay.
Oh, what a
Never,
concept.
yeah. And I couldn't believe it when I heard that, but I think there was a credible interview that I saw
Mhm.
talking about that. I was like, that's so strange. So that's maybe the key to his success was whatever the pitching program here has done has just completely unlocked him and revitalized his career.
At 37.
I don't know. I mean, do we want to trade him away or do we want to just keep him? Like
I
at
think
this point,
you have it's
Go
so
ahead,
tough.
Bayleigh.
Oh, I was just going to say, if by the trade deadline they are very much in a playoff position, like you have to keep him. I don't know how you trade him away, but then of course, trading him away doesn't also mean you're going to get a Cole Reagans. Like, that was just like a one-off craziness, but you could probably still get a pretty decent haul for him. So like I'm kind of like this is like, is it okay to trade him even if you're up because everybody else is in the pen and Slayton's pitching well? Let's say Hicks is doing well. You got Whitlock, but then do you just want to hold him on because like that's potentially somebody else that could, I don't know, the AL shit. Like that, is that somebody who could close out a pennant for you?
So I view it this way. If you're a seller, obviously he's your most valuable chip, I think.
Absolutely.
I'm still not in the boat of trading Bregman because I want him to stick around. You
Yeah,
traded
don't
Devers.
trade Bregman.
You
No.
traded Devers. You chose Bregman. That's how I viewed it.
Same.
Like you're choosing keeping Bregman around because if you're talking about the culture that the big three come up in and develop in, you want Alex Bregman around for it. So Bregman stays. He is not a trade chip at all, unless he's like, I'm out of here after 2025.
Which I think he likes it here, though. That's the thing. Like, and that's why I don't think the trade of Devers even affected his judgment of him wanting to be a Boston Red Sox.
Mm-hmm. We'll see where they're at when he comes back. Apparently, that'll be before the All-Star break, or they're
He's
optimistic it'll
running
be
pretty
before the
good.
All-Star break.
Yeah,
He's going for some testing on Wednesday, I think they said, or not Wednesday, or next Wednesday or something. I don't know. It's coming soon is the point. But I think basically how it stands right now, Aroldis Chapman will be a Red Sox reporting to spring training every year until he retires. That is my hot take. You could trade him at the deadline. He will be back in Fort Myers next spring with the Boston Red Sox.
Like what he did with New York.
Yeah.
Like he went and won a championship and came right back.
And if you suck again next year and he's great, guess what? You trade him again and you bring him back in 2027. Like I think that's literally how it's going to go. And like you just keep going year to year with him. I think that's in the best interest of both parties. He loves it in Boston. I think there's a real fondness for him with the organization as well. Again, that's a curse and a blessing. But I think Chapman, if you're a seller, you have no excuse but to get rid of him. Like you have to. But if you're even close, you got to keep him.
Yeah,
like,
I agree.
If you're close, you're getting rid of Buehler. You're getting rid of well, I'm not getting rid of Buehler anyway, but you're getting rid of Buehler. You're maybe getting rid of Giolito, and keeping Chapman if you're close. If you're far out, everybody's gone. And if you're in it, I'd still trade Buehler, but you'd keep everybody else.
What do you think you can get?
Bueller's going on the IL. I just like as soon as Harrison's ready or Fitz is ready or Houck, all these guys. Like,
did Fitz get hurt again, or did they just put him down?
They sent him down.
That's what I thought to like work on stuff. Yeah.
He went 5 shutty yesterday.
Good.
Apparently he looked really good too. Like it wasn't like an MLB Fitz 5 shutty where it's like not impressive, but he gave you 5 shutout innings. He looked good apparently in AAA. So
like I'm not
Tanner Houck pitched in AAA today, by the way.
Today, how did he do?
He pitched 1 inning. He gave up a run. So for him, pretty good.
It's
Yeah.
true. That is true. His ERA in the first this year is like 150. So
I
Yeah.
just don't think I need this man to be a starter anymore. And I know he proved it technically last year, but he also kind of didn't because he was butt for most of
yeah,
2024.
his
Like,
he's gonna be the long man, I think, when he comes back, and that'll be. I don't know how they'll figure the rotation when everybody's back.
yeah,
know.
it's like you got a little log jammy there, but I'd rather a log jam than there not be a log jam when it comes to talent starters.
I think
know?
you try and sneak Jorge Alcala through waivers, and then put Houck as the long man in the bullpen, and keep Dobbins up, and then when you're ready to bring up Harrison on July 5th, so you can conveniently get 1 extra year of service time on him.
Ooh.
That's when you'll send Dobbins down. I think Dobbins will be a starter, and they are not going to mess with him in the bullpen at all.
I agree.
Why
Again.
would they get an extra year of Harrison's service time? He's already been in the big leagues for like 3 seasons.
Well, he's been in the big leagues for parts of 3 seasons, but if they keep him down, Hatfield tweeted this afternoon.
Yeah,
if they
they
keep him
did.
down
Yeah.
through July 4th, they get an extra year, which I think would put him to be a free agent in 2029, after 2028, maybe after 2029.
Well, that's a no-brainer because they already said that they were going to basically keep him down there for just like a week or two to tweak his roster.
Yeah,
So,
well, they have to have him down for 15 days, and in 15 days, it's like July 2nd. So you may as well keep him down for 2 more and then call him up on July 5th.
Yeah, he's been in 39 total games over a 3-year span.
Yeah,
so
he only
this
exceeded
was
rookie limits
Tanner
last year.
Houck's. This was Tanner Houck's full line: 1 inning pitch, 2 hits, 1 earned run, 1 walk, 0 Ks, 32 strikes. He was lifted after walking the leadoff batter in the 2nd inning. He threw strikes but couldn't put hitters away in the 1st inning, leading to 2 8+ pitch at bats. That's per Ian Kundle at Sox Prospects.
People are going to react a certain type of way to it. Remember, his arm injury is basically a precursor for Tommy John. He's not thrown in 6 weeks. It was not going to be a pretty first start back.
No, I mean, that makes sense.
But also, I'm not super excited for him to return.
Me neither, unless it's in the bullpen. But like you said, these precursor things, do you think that Tommy John's just an inevitability?
Probably.
Ugh, I just love how it is for everybody now. Like, that's just the world we live in.
Yeah, if you haven't had it, I haven't had it yet.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I think the only person that was able to like rehab from not actually needing Tommy John was David Price. It's never worked for anybody else, right? The idea
And
of, like,
Masahiro Tanaka, I think, also somehow finagled his way out of Tommy John.
and I'm always like, okay, well, that's kind of impressive that you're able to do that. Whereas everybody else, it's like, because they literally tried it with Cole, and everybody was like, man, you should have just got the Tommy John instead of trying to like rehab it, because then he needed the Tommy John.
Yeah. It almost worked, though. They got to the World Series.
They did, and he pitched well. So it's not even like, oh, he was pitching poorly. Like, when healthy, he's arguably one of the best pitchers in baseball.
You know what's well, first off, congratulations to Garrett Crochet for announcing that they're having a baby just now.
Welcome to the Congrats on the Sex Club.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Aw.
Yeah. And then secondly, I cannot tell you guys, this is off topic, I'm sorry, but I cannot tell you the amount of times that I've gotten fooled on Twitter by the fake talking Yanks account or whatever it is.
It happened to me too.
Oh, the Talking Bossabell account.
Yeah,
Talking
Bossabell.
baseball account, Bossabell, yeah. Oh my word. It's so irritating because
they do everything.
That's like it.
They do everything. It's like it makes Centel look shit. Like, honestly, like NBA Centel, it makes them look awful.
Oh yeah, they do a phenomenal job, and the logo is so similar that if you're just like looking at it, they just did one right now, and I had to triple check it. They reposted the MLB.com's like top 5 AL Rookie of the Year candidates like poll, and they like photoshopped it around so like Roman Anthony was number 1 and everyone else was moved down. And I was like, wait, what? Why did I like had to do a double take? I was like, what poll is
He's only
this?
2 for 22 at the major league level, but he's a Rookie of the Year.
Now he was on the list. He was
Yeah.
fifth on the
Which
list.
is still
but,
crazy that he's Salo should have been ahead of him. Like, what are we doing?
I mean, yeah, but they're just projecting. Obviously, Carlos Narvaez, rightfully top 2.
Yes.
Have you guys
absolutely.
seen how bad he is doing in catching voting for the All-Star game, though?
Well, it's probably because Red Sox fans don't vote.
Yeah, we had to literally had to be a movement last year for Jaron Duran. Like we
Okay.
gotta do it for Narvaez as well, and we're getting down to it. I mean, Cal Raleigh's far and away the best catcher in baseball, so he should
yes.
start. But
Correct.
Narvaez should be there as well.
Yeah.
I think
And
Narvaez
I
is
think
8th or 9th right now in voting.
Gross.
Yeah. Which
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes like the starters get in, and then isn't it up to like the managers to pick like the reserves? So like
Yeah.
hopefully you'll be like, well, this man deserves to be here.
But you want him
Well, it
to be
has to be-
close enough where we can get to that final fan vote. I think that's
would
still
be
a thing,
nice.
or
It would be
I could be
nice.
wrong because I mean, with the way the Red Sox are, they'd have to be red hot into the break to get more than Chapman will be there,
Mhm.
Crochet will be there, and that's it right now because you traded the other guy. So
Yeah, and Bregman would have been there had he not
Yeah.
gotten hurt, but
I think Narvaez has a chance, but
I think so too. But I don't know. I don't think if the Red Sox have 2 representatives, if a manager's can be like, yeah, Carlos Narvaez will be at the All-Star game.
yeah, it is
True.
tricky. I mean, that's the thing with letting the fans vote. Sometimes I'm like, it's kind of BS. Like the numbers should speak for themselves, but
do you guys see how much of a lead Raffy would have had at DH in the American
probably
League?
obscene.
He didn't Rhino Hearn literally thank Breslow for trading him? He's like,
He
shout
did.
out Craig, man. I'm like now
I'm going to the All-Star.
now Rhino Hearn's an All-Star, and it's a walk year for him, so he's gonna make a shit ton of money this offseason for his first All-Star campaign.
Yeah, O'Hearn had like 200,000 votes. Raffy had 600 something thousand votes. So
That's
it was like it was a complete blowout. And now
Raffy
he's
also
not
went
even
from
in the league.
All-Star starter for DH to not because
Nope.
Ohtani.
Yeah, good luck.
So he's
Yeah,
not
good
going to
luck.
start for the NL.
Nope.
No.
Will he make it for the NL?
Maybe he can get in his first baseman.
Good point. I thought the funny part of that video was he wasn't even wearing a first baseman over there. He was still wearing his his regular fielder's glove.
Yeah.
Like this man has no fucking clue what he's doing.
No,
He's
yeah,
just
we
being
thought
a
he'd be
child.
great at it.
Him
No.
and Dom Smith.
Oh, I get to see Dom tonight. Hell yeah, man.
Yeah.
I'm pumped.
Bro, you gotta go up and you gotta go see Dom.
I'm sitting first base side.
Oh, nice.
If you yell BDSM, I bet you he'll smirk.
It is
Like-
funny. I do like
like-
that.
Like, hey Dom, how does it feel to know that you're going to lose your roster spot to Devers in a couple of weeks?
Ooh.
No.
Yeah.
No, he'll be DH.
The
He'll be
irony
DH
of,
some days.
the irony of this being a trip in my arsenal for 3 months, and then Brezzo's like, "Here you go."
Yeah.
He gets to go watch Raffy anyway.
Oh, it's insane. I
You
still
should actually
can't
go try to
believe it.
find Chris Cotillo while you're there, because I bet you those guys will still be
Oh,
up there.
good point. I'm gonna DM Cotillo and be like, "Hey, man, want to get ice cream after the game?" I got to get the
In honor
garlic
of
fries.
Devers.
I've been told by like 8 people.
Yeah.
Garlic fries.
Yeah, try him tonight.
I am. I already baked it into my MyFitnessPal calorie tracker. So
Nice.
Nice.
You had to eat nothing for the rest of the day to make.
oh
make
no,
sure- make
I'm
sure
on
it-
vacation, man. I'm enjoying myself. I'm actually still gonna be at like a 600 calorie deficit for the day, which is
Nice.
which is hilarious.
Heck yeah.
Because that's like way high for me. I've been like
You're on mute.
Whoop.
my mic came unplugged.
Uh-oh.
But I sometimes just forget to eat. And like last week, I had a day where I had like 900 calories over the course of the entire day.
That's a low. That's low.
That's very low calories. Yep.
Especially somebody like me. Like my maintenance is like 2,600. That was ridiculous.
Mm.
I wish I knew exactly what my calorie intake was going to be. I've been working out every day, but I don't manage the calorie piece of it. And I'm like thinking that's like the next step is I got to make sure that I get myself on a little bit better of a calorie intake or a calorie deficit, I guess is what they call it. But
Yeah.
Can't win 'em all.
I gained
How
like
I've been-
10 pounds at home, so I'm back.
How
and
I've
I
been
need
doing
to
it
go
is
to the
not
gym.
fun. How I've been doing it is not fun, but
Yeah.
results. So
Yeah.
yeah, you
I
look
know.
great.
got them. Thanks.
I know, skinny Jordan. Look out. He's coming. He's coming.
Jordan, would you care to comment on the first pitch the other day that happened? I believe it was at
The Mets game.
the Mets game, and this girl tried to take out the photographer right in the nuts, and I knew she was trying to emulate you. It was so obvious. I was like, I recognize this form anywhere, the direction, the angle, the photographer in the corner, the unsuspecting looking behind the lens, but she was a little bit to the left. Do you have any comments?
Somebody tagged me and said, "You got to wife her up." Like, I've never even heard of this woman, but sure, I'm not dating anyone.
Yeah. Oh, it seems perfect now. We must find her and just imagine it's like the two of the worst
500th
pitches.
episode.
Right? There you go. It's like
Yeah.
there's you, there's her, and then you have to have 50 Cent initiate your wedding.
Seriously. What do we get 50 Cent on for our 500th episode?
Oh my god.
We have a stacked lineup. We got 50 Cent.
So
We've
many
got
people.
The girl from the Mets first pitch.
Yes.
Leah, what was it?
Leah Anthony.
Leah Anthony. Who else did we say we had lined up for that?
We
Breslow.
gotta get Karen Reed now.
Karen Reed.
Karen
apparently.
Reed.
Come on, Karen. You're about to get a movie
Well, we know
deal.
she's got free time now, so
Yeah.
We're also
Yeah.
booking
because she's confirmed not going to jail.
Yep.
we're also booking the Red Sox AI bot
We're gonna
to
have
be on our 500th episode too.
I wonder if June Lee would do it. I actually really love June Lee, even though people hate him because a couple of his reports were like not 100% accurate. It's like every reporter, every
Oh.
report they make is not 100% accurate.
Yeah, because you
It's
talk
fine.
to certain sources and you think they're good at certain points, and then you get let down by it. But I mean,
Yeah.
he still works at freaking ESPN, so good for him.
Well, no, he
Right?
works
Is
at
that right?
Yahoo now. He
Oh,
left
he's at Yahoo
ESPN a
now.
couple
Okay.
years ago.
Okay, but still, I mean,
Big June Lee fan.
yeah. And I thought like what he wrote was insightful and
And fair to both parties. Like he was like, yeah, both of these guys fucking suck. Like,
Yeah.
like let's be.
they needed to get divorced because it was awful. But I just really truly want to know if the clubhouse was like that affected by him being there. Because I mean, he was producing, and that's like not the thing. It wasn't like, oh man, Cora, I pulled a hamstring. I can't play today. No, he played every game.
Yeah,
and
he was posting.
Yeah, so dumb.
I want to last thought from me here, Jordan, is prediction for the upcoming series.
Oh, I'm not leaving. I just want to put this on so I can scram. I can stick around for like 20 more minutes probably.
All right,
But I will get my prediction in because I will have to take off abruptly. Stick with 2 out of 3. You've won 4 series in a row. You get Bayo and Dobbins in this series. Bayo's looked really good his last couple of times out. I think Bayo's going to continue to shove.
I need it.
It's a good ballpark for him too because he can pitch to ground balls, but not be so afraid of allowing fly balls because it's a huge outfield. And then for Dobbins, like he doesn't really, unless I'm completely misremembering every single start of his this season, not a big ground ball guy either. So again, he can pitch to contact, get his whiffs where they come, and yeah, we'll see about Sunday. Sunday's Giolito. That's the wild card. I'll stick with 2 out of 3. Get yourself to 5 straight series wins.
Yeah, I think I would probably go 2 out of 3 as well here because of all the reasons that you said, but also like the offense just hasn't been exactly lighting it up. They've been scoring 2 to 5 runs a game and winning, but they've been winning close games. The bullpen's been locking it down. The pitching rotation's been locking it down. I just obviously the Giants offense isn't like the best in the league, but they are a good team and they are holding it. Yeah, they got Devers now. Devers is batting third. Chapman's out. They got Jung Ho Lee over there. They've got Heliot Ramos. They've got Willie Adames. They've got whoever the catcher is over there.
Patrick Bayley got activated today.
Yep, Patrick Bayleigh. They got Mike Yastrzemski, like you said. So I mean, they got Big Dom Smith over there. The vibes. They got the vibes.
Yeah, they're a decent team, and I think it's because they're within striking distance because the Dodgers have been underachieving, by even though they have 42, 43 wins, it's still like underachieving by what that roster was supposed to be, but they're also injured. So I think this acquisition of Devers is them like hoping, hey, maybe we can sneak in there and steal a division, you know?
I mean, they're only 2 games. They were only 2 games behind the Dodgers yesterday. Let me see where they're at today.
Mm.
Because that in itself, if you had asked, they're 3.5 back, so they must have
3.5
lost
back.
2 in a row or something.
Mm.
If you had told me that they were going to be, within 3 games of the Dodgers in the beginning of the year, I wouldn't have guessed that. So, like,
Yeah.
kudos to them. They're doing a great job. Yeah, 2 out of 3 for me. I just think that the offense is bound to be the reason that they lose one of these games. But I
Yeah.
am excited to see that they've been holding leads, winning close games. And even though they haven't been scoring a lot, they've still been winning. I mean, they've won 10 out of the last 13 games. So there's a lot of things
Playing
going
good
right.
baseball. We just don't
I also
have
wanna-
that thumper in the lineup.
We don't. I do think Jaron Duran does hit a triple in this series, at least one.
We need him to get going.
this
'cause
park-
Jesus.
Yeah. I also sneaky think Carlos Narvaez is like a huge triples candidate in this series.
It's a huge ball. Like that outfield is.
I got Romans in 2.
Ooh.
two in McCovey Cove or what?
No, 2 triples.
Oh,
2 triples.
Yeah, because they've been emphasizing his need to pull fly balls, and the home run he hit in Seattle is triples alley.
yeah.
That is out there. I mean, Jung Hoo Lee is a tremendous outfielder, but Roman hits the shit out of the ball. Good luck running that down. But yeah, I think Roman's got a couple of triples in him this series. I wonder who's gonna hit. Like Will Middlebrooks gave a stat today. They're like 16 games over 500 this year when they homer.
Really?
I don't know where Willier would be. It'd be nice for Will to come back with a bang like that and homer this series. But as far as who else, like Story, not happening. Like he's not pulling anything out of there. That's not going to happen. Sadon,
2 home runs on the whole year. Like, I think so.
Sadon's got 5, I think.
Does he have that many?
Yeah, because he finally started pulling the ball like 2 weeks ago.
He had like 3 straight or 4 straight games with a home run just recently.
Yeah, that
Including
Angel
the World Cup.
series.
He had that many.
That Angel series, he homered, I think, in every game of it. That at least every game he played in.
Oh yeah, 6. He's got 6.
But
it's way more than I thought.
Hey,
well,
does Connor Wong
was
get an RBI this weekend?
Oh, you know what I just realized? No, the answer is no. The best.
I was gonna say you
tweet that
just realized that.
The best tweet that I saw yesterday was that like viral tweet that was like Iran has just warned us that something is coming
The world will
tonight
remember.
that the world will remember forever. And someone had tweeted Connor Wong finally gets an RBI, and it's like
Baby steps. You got to hit today.
hilarious.
I got that
Hilarious.
single, just right in there.
Yeah,
He's
but
on a
he
heater
also,
now.
yeah, well, the
One
other
for his
bats we
last
won't talk
3.
about those.
One for his last 3, baby.
Oof.
Connor Wong cannot steal a strike either to like save his life. It's bad.
He's bad.
Which is
Every
crazy.
time
He's like 11th in like framing runs this year. So I don't know if catching's just down league wide. I think Connor Wong's biggest problem catching actually is not stealing strikes. It's saving strikes. Like he doesn't stick it. If it's a strike, he loses a lot of them. I think he steals them fine, but he loses so many. He had like 4 or 5 today that were just bad.
Yeah.
So, what were we gonna say, Bayleigh?
Oh, I was just gonna say, I understand like day game after a night game, but I think I maybe would have flip flopped and had Wong go yesterday, and then today had Narvaez catch, like because he's caught Crochet pretty much all year. So I mean, it's like
Here's a thought: when you start losing 8-0 in the second inning, you put Connor Wong in the game.
yeah, you're not
That's
wrong.
just my thought.
They did say that they wanted to give Narvaez a couple days off in a row, so I think that was why he just played yesterday and Wong went today. I don't think it was about a day game after a night game.
Yeah, that actually does make sense.
They just want to
He
give him
has
2 days
2
in a row.
games off. Yeah,
Should have done it with Jaron too. I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
again,
Jaron looks bad right now. Like
he hit a couple stiff today.
Yeah,
but,
he did hit him pretty hard.
But like the one thing I'll say, this is gonna be
Hit a
my last.
115-mile-an-hour line out.
Yeah,
Oh,
One of his outs today.
the one thing I'll say, the last thing I'll say about Devers, because I got to jump in a couple of minutes, but it's very easy to talk about what somebody else should be doing like taking a look in the mirror and being like, I should do something different is huge. So like when somebody like Jaron Duran comes out and it's like, I just won a 26, and he didn't say anything like denigrating about Devers. He was just kind of like, we're not phased by it. But like you've got a 724 OPS. It is June 18th. You have dramatically regressed as an outfielder. You got to step up, bud. Like yeah, there's 25 other guys. Yeah, but you were an all-star last year. Like you gotta take some initiative here and like play better. I mean, again, today he hit 2 line drives. I don't want to act like he went out and went 0 for 4 with 3 Ks today, because he didn't. But he did drop a fly ball, which I don't think got overturned to an error. So, but he's not getting any help on the outs above average category, which he was really dropped off in this year. But again, it's very easy to talk about what other people should be doing, and I think that's kind of what's been lost in this whole thing. Like everyone in the clubhouse thought Devers should play first. Well, yeah, but a lot of people in the clubhouse also play like shit this year, so that's their fault. They should maybe play better.
Play better baseball. Yeah.
Yeah, it's still ruled as a hit.
So unfair.
Crochet's like that's an earned run. That's an earned run. Like, and I hate that.
Yeah. Crochet's so good.
Anyway, I got to jump, guys. Have a good rest of the show.
Have fun.
All right, man. Have fun at the game. Say hi to Dom for us.
I love that place.
I will. Peace out, y'all.
Bye.
Oop, I almost ended the recording. All right, peace out.
We're all done, guys.
Final thoughts. I guess Bayleigh going into this next series, we can hit some final thoughts. What do you got for some final thoughts?
Yeah, I think I've got 2 out of 3. I just, like I always say, I like taking series. Predicting sweeps are very difficult. But I don't know, man. I'm kind of excited to see Giolito next, because it's like we've just gotten 2 really good ones from him. And yeah, outside of Devers in that lineup, it's not that great. I think he can power through it like he just did with like Seattle. And Bayleigh looks so good that like I was like, there's so much talent in Brian Bayleigh that I need it to come to fruition. Like I need to start seeing it unfold in front of our eyes. So like, I don't know. I mean, like I agree that the only way that I think they're going to really lose is on this offense just not being great.
Yeah, they're struggling. But the good news is like they are learning, like Marcelo homer today, Roman homer in the first game. Like the young guys are hitting. You know, we just need to see Campbell kind of keep getting back up to speeds, and Jaron needs to get back up. I mean, Story's hitting, which we needed. Narvaez continues to hit. Toro's fine. So I mean, it just needs to click on this in the same games for more than a couple of runs a game, and they'll be okay. But if the pitching staff is good, I forgot I was going to mention this with this earlier. This is a sneaky series for Andrew Bayleigh, and the Andrew Bayleigh revenge game, revenge series against his former team, former pitching staff. So there could be some influence here of him and his scouting department.
That'd be nice.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. But anything other than that for final thoughts?
I don't know. I mean, we're in a post Devers world right now, and just buckle up and hope that this money is going to be allocated properly. Hope that Alex Bregman comes back healthy. We're going to be seeing Masataka Yoshida, and I'm not excited to see him at the expense of Rafael Devers, but I'm excited to see the bat to ball skills thrown in there. Like maybe I'm be interested to see where they hit him. Are they going to hit him second? They're going to hit him third? Like when Bregman comes back, is Bregman going to slot in at 2 now because he's technically your best hitter in your lineup?
So I left that number 2 spot. It's not a bad idea.
Yeah.
And then you could put Ref Snyder there whenever he's not, or on him, like because Ref Snyder's kind of been bouncing back and forth like that leadoff spot. But
I kind of like him lead off when there's a lefty out there because he's doing his damn job. So
he's like so consistent.
Yeah, and eventually it's like with Roman, it's like where are they going to fit? Because at 3 right now, I don't know if that's necessarily where he's gonna stay once, we get Yoshida and we get Bregman back. It'll be kind of interesting just to see what they do with the lineup. And Corey's gonna be happy for the first time because he's gonna have true flexibility with that DH spot.
I think no matter what, Roman is batting right ahead of Narvaez. I think that's like a good spot for him, and then
Yeah.
Marcelo right after. So I
Yeah,
think
I
it's
kind
just
of
a
like
matter
that.
of like who's ahead of them,
Yeah,
and
it's true.
maybe
But
Toro is bridging the gap between Narvaez and one of those guys because Toro's a switch hitter. But
yeah, it's just, it sucks that we don't know. Again, Marcelo could be turning into somebody who really hits for power. We're hoping that Roman will really hit for power. But right now, as we look at it, you don't have a guy that you're like, oh man, you can be scared. This guy could just go deep right now. And like
yeah,
and that we're even gonna miss that when Bregman and Yoshida come back. Because Bregman hits home runs. Like, I'm not saying, but like to me, it's like that guy that you have in that 4 hole. Even though like Devers was hitting 2 because he's your best, but I just feel like we don't have that guy that's like, man, he can just go deep and just change the course of this game.
yeah. It's been dramatically missing, but I don't know. My final thought on this episode is, if you want a Rafael Devers jersey, it's on sale in the team store right now. Fanatics, 60% off. It's a great deal. And if you're looking to get early Christmas gifts for your kids, get them a nice Rafael Devers City Connect jersey, number 11. They will never know the difference, and
This one right
they'll
here.
eventually repurpose that number to the first
Yeah.
free agent that they bring in or trade acquisition mid-season.
Yeah. Who's out there that like really loves 11? Come on down, and then I can wear this for them.
It was not even a full season that Xander Bogaerts was gone, and they gave up his number 2. So,
Yep. But they still hold on to 21 like he's some god.
I mean, he was very good.
He was
let's
very
be real.
good, but he's not going to get into the Hall of Fame because he cheated. And why are we holding on to his number? Like the Yankees give out 22, like it's nobody, like legitimately last year. And I think this year, like I think isn't Rice 22 or something?
He is.
So yeah, they don't give 2 Fs about the number 22 in New York where he won his championships, So why are we holding on to 21 so much? I don't know.
It's a good point. It's a great point, Bayleigh. You should go work for the Yankees. I mean, at the same time, they just recently changed their facial hair policy.
I hate
Maybe they will change their retired numbers. You never know. I will.
They retire everybody,
We didn't get a chance to talk about this because we didn't recap the Yankee series, but watching Aaron Judge with like 5 o'clock shadow is like the weirdest thing. Like,
Yeah.
oh, he didn't shave today. Like, you can tell. Like, he
And he
looks a
won't get
little
in trouble.
scruffy, and this is fine. Like, it's weird. It's a
Yeah.
weird
I don't
thing to
like
get
seeing
used to.
any Yankee with facial hair because I always loved dunking on the fact that they had this ridiculous rule. And now that it's gone, I hate it. And it honestly, they look weird. I don't know. It's like pinstripes and facial hair. Just I can't compute it, so I don't like it.
Well, I mean, I think you said it well when you just said I don't like it. Like, it's the boss. It's the New York Yankees, so I don't like it for that reason.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got nothing else. So that being said, tune in next time. Next episode will be dropping this weekend. It's the Weekend Crew. We've got Jordan live from San Francisco. I mean, I don't know why I said San Diego.
A little warmer there.
Yep, not to location dox him. We also got the minor league show coming out on Mondays. They just dropped a great 3-hour episode like this Monday. So if you're someone who wants to consume great content, they spent the first hour talking about Rafi or honestly, probably more than the first hour talking about Rafi, but it was a great breakdown. And then they talk about the rest of the minor league system, obviously, after that. But they always do a great job over there. And if you really want a good breakdown of the prospects that we got in return in that trade, go to the Sox Prospects podcast. They didn't spend as much time on the fan reaction piece like we did. They spent more time talking about the players that they got in return and what does that outlook look like. So some good analysis in there as well. But yeah, everybody, we will talk to you next time. Until then, go Sox and have a great